we continue with our class Laws of Shabbos. Today is class number 56. And we start with a Sefer Chafetz Chaim. We're on page 168. And the big topic is the same for the subject's benefit. Today's topic, problem students. The dedicated teacher often finds it necessary to discuss a progress and the difficulty of the students with parents, colleagues, and principals. A lack of clear guidance with regard to Lashon Hara can create either free-for-all atmosphere when people talk about anyone with anyone, or at the other extreme, sympathetic approach to Shmiras Lashon which could inhibit the teacher effectiveness and as an educator. So here's the problem. So you have a teacher. So sometimes he needs help, and he would talk to his colleagues, or just to vent his frustration, right? Or he would talk to parents. So not everything is allowed to say. Okay. Generally speaking, the area of chinuch, child education and upbringing, constitute a constructive purpose, which would permit related negative information concerning a student. So in general, like if that person, that teacher, trying to help that student, it is for constructive purpose. If he really needs help, right? This teacher is if he not handle the situation himself. However, the specific condition which permits speaking negatively for a constructive purpose must never be overlooked. So just say that this guy, child did not behave in his class, it's not helping, it's not being for a constructive purpose, basically. Verification of the facts is crucial. For a teacher to play amateur psychologist and hastily diagnose the student as having some complex disability or disorder without pursuing the matter properly constitute a reckless, and the consequences can be recklessness. I'm sorry, and the consequences can be devastating. So you always have to do your research. As we say, it has to be first-hand information. Just because one teacher told another teacher, so that teacher cannot draw any conclusion yet. To communicate one's evaluation under such circumstances would it be Chatzaras Shemra, slander. That's how bad it is. It is an unfortunate fact that certain problematic children have not succeeded only as a result of having been misunderstood by a teacher, whose labeling tainted the image of that student in the eyes of the future teacher. So now this teacher, for whatever reason, he did not like the student. He got annoyed and stuff like that. So he labeled the student as the student. After that, he's like forever. He has this stamp. 147. 1 second. So there is continuation 168. Okay, so continuation. A teacher must make every effort to fully understand the behavior of each student. So just because he knows material, it does not mean that he can be a good teacher. He must not be swift in condemn. It is essential that the student feel comfortable about expressing his true feelings to his teacher in a respectable manner, of course. Conditions 1 through 4 of constructive speech, see day 50. Okay. Necessitates a good heart-to-heart talk with the student before reporting problem, unless one suspects that serious danger may be imminent. So it's this teacher, before he draws any conclusion, he must talk to the student one-on-one. Let's see, maybe he's mistaken. Maybe the boy, I don't know, or girl, I don't know what's going on with them. Maybe there is a family problem and don't have to blame a child. Okay, go ahead.
Is a teacher allowed to, what's it called? Let's say there's a student and he's making a lot of noise, right? Is the teacher allowed to say, I'll call your father, even though the student gets embarrassed when he says that in front of the whole class, or to quiet him down, or no?
I think so, yes.
Understood.
Because that's, I mean, that's a normal way how to put a pressure on a little guy or a big guy. Okay, so we continue with a sifting. So actually, I'm not sure. I have no idea why I didn't finish last time. Maybe I had the next class after that. I'm not sure. But we're in the end of at the end of the practical applications. Okay. So next one, removing pulp. So we were talking about removing bad stuff from good. So there are some impurities, and you said there is a mixture, and we want to clean the mixture and remove bad from good. Okay. D, removing pulp so that the juice will flow freely. One is permitted to strain pulp from juice in order to allow the juice to flow freely. For example, through the nipple of the baby bottle. Okay. So that's a good example, I think. The reasoning for this is as follows. He removed the pulp so not because it is inherently undesirable or because he finds it distasteful, but simply because it is blocking the free flow of the liquid. Because there is nothing undesirable about the pulp, it is not regarded as being separated from the liquid. Therefore, the removal from the liquid is not halachically speaking as a straining. So I think it's a perfect example. I think so. Right. So on one hand, it is straining. So you have this pulp. It was mixed with the liquid, and now you have to separate. But the reason why we separate so the baby can drink, not because the pulps are not good for baby or baby does not want the pulp, but simply because he drinks from the bottle. So that's the only way. Okay. Next example, E. Straining water from the food item. It is forbidden to use a strainer, colander, or slotted spoon, meaning the spoon with a hose, right? To separate liquid from the item of food. For example, noodles, rice, coleslaw, etc. So basically, what would be a good example? I'm not sure. Like something in a liquid, and then he uses this as this spoon with holes, and he lifts this. No. I'm not sure. I'm not sure what would be example.
Right.
Even when they say noodles, 1 second. So even to say noodles, I mean, you're taking good from bad. It's not like it's separate. I'm not sure why they said so. Okay, go ahead.
Let's say I had chicken soup, right? And I want to separate the chicken in this manner, okay? But I also want to have the actual soup in a mug and drink it, right? Does that count as sifting or no? Because is it undesirable to me because I want to put it in a mug, or? No,
it's not. You see, this chicken itself is never mixed with the soup itself, because it's too big to be mixed. Yeah, I say it's too distinct.
Can't I say the same thing about noodles and coleslaw?
No. This what is it? This liquid is actually mixed with coleslaw. Yeah. That's a difference. Okay.
What's it called? I mean noodles. What about noodles? Because they give the example of noodles in that regard.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure how is this a good example with noodles. I mean, you don't cook noodles when you just cooked it. Yes, I understand. Right. So you want to like pour a colander and you want to get rid of the water. That's I understand. But nobody cooks noodles on Shabbat. So that's. But basically, as we said, all of this specify instruments are forbidden, basically, all of these things. Okay. Continue. F. I'm on page 317. Straining seeds, pits. It is forbidden to use a strainer on Shabbos to filter drinks that contain pits, seeds, pills, and other such impurities. So here, for sure, those are impurities that you do not want, right? Okay. G. Straining liquid to remove large fruits. Okay. A liquid containing a few large pieces of fruit. The pieces are clearly visible and distinct, are not halachically considered to be mixed with liquid. Therefore, there is no issue, there is no mixture. One is permitted to pour this liquid from a pitcher whose spout prevents the fruit from escaping. And even the use of sieve and strainer to remove the fruit from this liquid. So basically, I mean, he said that you can use a sieve and a strainer to remove. Basically because it is permitted, because these fruits were never mixed. It's same example with chicken. Okay, so basically, if you want to put in your cup, as I said, you want a cup, you want to drink this chicken soup from the cup. So yeah, that's what you can do to keep back all of these things that you don't want. Okay. I mean, if they're large enough. Okay. Next one, H. Water filter on faucet. One is permitted to use water filter attached to the faucet on a sink. Since most of people will drink unfiltered tap water, despite the small impurities it may contain, the malacha of sifting does not apply. However, a person who is sensitive to even these minor impurities and does not drink water, tap water, without filtering it, may not use such a filter on Shabbos, as we explained before. Right? For him, its use considered forbidden act of sifting. But for most people, I guess there is no problem. Okay, strainer in a sink, we said there is no problem because you don't want neither the solid parts nor the liquid. Okay, so it's not sifting. Okay, number J. Removing contact lenses from solution. Contact lenses are often stored in a perforated holder that rests in a receptacle contain cleaning solution. One may remove the lenses and the holder from solution on Shabbos, even though this causes the liquid to be strained through the perforated holder. So I think I saw somebody have there is this big container, there is solution, and they put this the contact lenses in solution so it would not get all this infection basically. And then when they lift up, so the water goes down. So they say there is no problem because first of all, they were never mixed. Okay. Next one, K, sifting sand. If an article that was lost in a sand, it is forbidden under rabbinic law to sieve the sand on Shabbos in order to retrieve the lost article. So, but it's, I think it is clear here because we don't want sand, and it's the sand is not pure. It's something that we don't want, and we don't want something that in the sand. That's the issue. Okay. So we got up to chapter number 21, and the title is the melachas involved preparing wool.
Rabbi,
Yeah.
you didn't happen to skip a page, did you?
316, 317, 318, no.
Wait, 318. Okay, where were you just reading from? Okay. I sorry, I skipped a page. Okay, sure. Thank you.
Okay, no problem. So all right, so I think few of these melachas were actually discussed, but let's let's see, the melacha involved in preparing wool. The following 13 melachas about the wool, right? So others about making paints, dyes, right? The following 13 melachas are based on activities performed in Mishkan while preparing wool for the use of the curtains. Because these melachas have a few practical applications, for most people nowadays, we have combined them in a single chapter. The only one of these melachas that merits chapter of its own, in this valley in Soibea, dyeing. So dyeing is that's big, right? So we learn. I think we learn. Maybe not. I don't remember. Okay. Some of these melachas have been discussed in the earlier volumes. Oh yeah. Okay. Instead of repeating the discussion here, we have shown where they can be found in other volumes. The 13 melacha involved preparation wool are as follows. Okay, there is one note. It said the translation and elucidation of several of these melachas was taken from a Shoftin edition, Tractate Shabbos. Okay, right. Okay, number one, sharing. For discussion of this halachas, we see Shabbos volume 1. So sharing we actually did. So sharing when you cut the wool, right? And all of this, so basically cutting from the place of the growth. Okay, number 2 is laundering. So also we learn about laundering. Number 3 is combing. Okay, we didn't get to it. Okay, so we're going to see. Number 3 is dyeing. It looks like it's next chapter. Number 5 is spinning. See below. Okay, so we're going to talk about spinning. Number 6 is so basically that. Okay, so it's very interesting. So first they share wool, right, from the sheep. Then they wash the wool because I mean from the sheep it's dirty. Then they comb, meaning they try to make it straight so you can use it as a thread. Then they dye, meaning to make all this them universal color. Then they spin meaning that they create a thread. Number 6, mounting the warp on a loom. See below. Okay, so I mean we're going to discuss setting 2 headles. See below. Then the weaving itself. So that this 6 and 7, I mean, mounting a warp on a loom, it's like this. I don't know what it is, like this thing where they were using for women. So like if you know that the material, the threads goes this way and this way. So they go like this and like I think only like this from left to right to left. I think. With all these things. Okay, number 9. So weaving, it's I think understandable. Number 9, removing 2 threads. Okay, see below. We're going to discuss tying. So about the knots we learned. Okay.
So what's it called? It says most of these don't apply today, but didn't we learn some of these because they all? Yeah, exactly. Since we learned them, why over here does it say most of these don't apply today? Because
no. As I guess is on a rabbinical level or on a biblical level. So on a biblical level, nobody does sharing of the sheep. I mean, I would say right. If you have a dog, so you cannot share a dog.
Understand.
Laundering. Again, laundering they were laundering this wool that they shared. Common also. I mean, what we learned is more like all of them. I think was were rabbinical or taladas, or I would say taladas, but not exactly what they would do in the temple. Okay, but this time for sure. I mean. Tying, untying, right? We learn about it. Sewing, right? We also learn. Cheating, we also learn. Okay, that's it. So it was 13. Okay. So they start with a combin. Combin is number 3. Okay, in that list. Okay, number 1, the prohibition. The raw wool is made up the mixture of short and long fibers. So you can imagine. I mean, all of these fibers from let's say they share, I don't know, 10 sheep. So it's a lot, and they're all different, in different texture. Before spinning, the short fiber are removed through the process known as combing. The wool used during the building the building of the mishkas underwent this procedure. The mishkan activity is the source of the melacha over combing. Combing. Okay. Number 2, practical application. So it's one more time to remind us to create this parochas. A, combing hair, combing a wig. Ooh. The melacha of combing applies only to the fibers that will be made into thread. It does not apply to the hair on the person's head. Okay, so nobody is going to make threads from a person's hair. One who combs his hair on Shabbat does not violate the melacha of combing. Okay. However, one who combs his hair does violate the melacha, other melacha's prohibition. So as we saw, it's he can most likely would pluck his hair while combing. That's the issue. Not the combing like this melacha, but he would pluck the hair. That's the issue. Okay. For the same reason, one who combs a wig on Shabbos does not violate melacha of combing, right? But what would be the issue? The issue with this wig would be, I think, the building, right? And maki bepatish, striking the last blow. So it was not good, and now they make good. Okay.
Rabbi, when you comb and pluck your hair, does it count as a drabanan or a deraisa?
Say it again.
When you comb your hair on Shabbos, does it count as a drabanan or a deraisa if you pluck out your hair?
No, pluck out the hair. It's a good question. I would say it's rabbinical, I think, but I'm not. Maybe it's talada, than biblical. I'm not sure. Okay, so the number 2 is spinning. So spinning in our list, it was number 5. Okay, spinning is a twisting together the fibers to make a long thread. Right? This activity was performed in the Mishkan and is therefore prohibited on Shabbat. So basically, let's say all of these threads were like, I don't know, like 3 inches, maybe like 2 inches. So now they twist them together, and to make the thread, right? To make a very long thread. Continue, number 3. Mounting a warp on a loom. This refers to the act of arranging threads in a warp upon the loom in a preparation for weaving. This activity, along with the 3 that follows, constitute the process of weaving. We therefore present a brief introduction to this process. I mean, of course, we're never going to do it, most likely, but let's see. The weaving loom is a frame upon which the 2 rollers are mounted. So some kind of frame. So if you want, you can look on the internet later on. One called warp beam, as at the far end, far end away from the weaver. The other called the cloth beam is at the near end, close to the weaver. Okay, so basically it goes like this. So one is closer, one is further. The warp thread are wound around the warp beam and stretched to the cloth beam, which will eventually hold the newly woven cloth. Weft threads are then introduced between the warp threads and produce the woven fabric. See appendix. I mean, if you want to look these things on the internet, it's better to see one picture than all this explanation. The melacha of mounting the warp is a process of stretching the warp threads from the beam to beam. The person who mounts the warp is called Meisach, a loom dresser. For further details regarding this melacha, see Maaseh Orek by Dayan Y. Gukovsvitsky, page 17. Okay. Michaela Sagida, okay. And Rabbi Bodner. Okay. Continue. Number 4. So basically, I mean, we're not going to do it. We're not going to do homemade fabrics today. Number 4, setting 2 heddles. So also very unlikely, but let's read. Between the 2 beams and perpendicular to them, there are 2 frames called harnesses, through which the warp threads must pass. Each of these harnesses are numerous threads attached to each. Each pair is adjusted threads on harness is knotted in 2 places to form a loop or eye in the center. Okay. This pair of the threads is called heddle. Heddles may also be made by tying a ring between the 2 lengths of threads. Modern hand looms often use metal strip pierced in the center. One warp thread passes through the eye of the heddle in the first harness and between the 2 heddles on the second harness. The next warp thread passes between the 2 heddles and the first harness and through the eye of the heddle of the second harness, and so on. Placing 2 heddles through the heddle eye constitute the melacha of setting 2 heddles. For further details, see sources cited in section 3. Okay, we went. I'm not going to explain because don't expect me to understand what it says here. I mean, it's easier to see. Like some people still weave, and actually, I have one talus. Actually, believe it or not, I have a talus like that, like hand woven. Very interesting. You know, if you go to in the old city in Yerushalayim, they have one shop at least where I bought my talus, and in Tzvat, they also have, I think, in 2 places even. They do handmade kippah and stuff like that. Okay. So 5, weaving. The weaver raises 2 frames alternatively. This is called shedding. First, he raises front frame. This carries with the harness containing the odd warp threads and form the opening called shed between the 2 sets of warp heads. The warp is passed through this shed from right to left. This is called picking. I mean, something like, I don't know. I'm not even sure. The weaver then raises the even warp threads by lowering the front frame and raising the back one, and passes the weft from the left to right, passing the weft threads twice through the warp, right to left and left to right, constitute the melacha of weaving. Okay, so we just read. And last one, removing 2 threads. The melacha of poitzea is performed by eliminating excess threads from the areas of the loom that are too densely packed. Okay, so let's okay, we just read. Okay, as I say, it does not apply too much, but this one, next one, it's applied very much. So page 322 and chapter 22, coloring. Tzeveya. So that's the one that's big. The Av Milacha. Tzeveya, which translates as coloring or dyeing, is one of the 39 Avas Melachas. This Melacha was performed during the construction of the Mishkan with the dyeing of wool and animal hides for various curtains and covers. So as we learned in Chumash, I think there were like several covers from the skins of the animals and from all these different wool mixtures and stuff like that. So they would dye them in different colors. Okay, definition. Number 2 definition. The definition of tzeveya is improvement or beautification of the object by coloring, dyeing, or painting it. So that's I'm going to read again, but it's amazing, right? Like in one sentence, he put it all. The definition of tzeveya is improvement or beautification of an object by coloring, dyeing, or painting. Okay, so let's see. We can better understand this melacha by contrasting it with melacha of koisei, writing. One could argue that since one who forms letters, colors the surface upon which he writes, all writing should violate the melacha or tzeveya, coloring. So it's very interesting argument. So they say, well, when you write, let's say it was a white surface, and now you use, let's say, blue ink, right? So meaning that you made this white space now looks blue, right? This, however, is incorrect. So that they will say it looks like every time when somebody writes, it would be considered coloring also. This, however, is incorrect. The object of the writing is to the object of the writing is to create a characters or symbols, right? So when a person writes, he does not care about the coloring. He care about what the contents, right? So he writes, he draws, or he writes some letters, right? The colors applied to the surface simply provides a medium in which the characters can be formed. So it's not like his intention is not to color the surface, but that's how these characters, whatever he does, can be seen. It should be different from the background. However, it is in no way the object of the exercise. By contrast, the purpose of dyeing or coloring is solely to enhance and beautify the surface to which the color is applied. It is this which prohibits under the melacha of coloring. So I think it should be clear, right? It is this that which is forbidden, which is prohibited under melacha of coloring. Okay. Meaning when we improve the surface. This difference of definition yields the following difference in the practice. One who creates a colorful line, a line drawing, has violated the melacha of writing. One who beautifies an existing drawing by coloring has violated the melacha of coloring. So let me read one more time. One who creates colorful line drawing as well as the melacha of writing. I'm not sure why he gives this example, because we said the simple shapes are not considered to be writing. I'm not sure. One line is not writing. Not sure what he said.
Right, but they said colorful line drawing. So.
Oh, colorful line drawing. Okay, thank you. So I missed the word. Okay, one who creates colorful light drawing. So all right. So now he draws, I don't know what, a bird, right? So now it's writing. Thank you very much. One who beautifies the existing drawing by coloring, so the coloring, right? The violates the melacha of coloring. Thank you.
Rabbi, But still, doesn't that mean that one who draws, is doing the rabbanon of coloring, maybe? Because he's still coloring, it's just not his kavanah.
It's not his objection.
Uh-huh.
His objective is to make some to draw the bird.
So with coloring, what matters is kavanah. If you have a different kavanah, it might not count as deraisa.
Yeah, it could be there. I say yes. If it would be his kavanah.
Understood. Okay.
So, but it could be combination. If he wants, not only drawing the line, but he wants like fill in, wherever he just drew, like fill in with the color. That could be dyeing.
What if he like does I don't know, he draws like a cake and he starts making like decorations with the coloring, like starts drawing like loops and so on and so forth. That doesn't count as coloring.
Let's see in a practical application what they would see. Let's say maybe yes, maybe no. We will see. Okay, so number 3, biblical prohibition. The biblical prohibition of surveyor applies only when the color when the color one applies is intended to remain permanently. Okay, so cake, I guess it's not permanent. Okay, so but on a piece of paper, I would say it is permanent. The precise definition of permanence in the context of surveyor is a matter of debate among the authorities. Some poskim hold that color is considered permanent if it will remain until the end of Shabbos. So that's a very strong opinion, right? Others maintain that it must remain for a significant amount of time. We follow the stringent view. Accordingly, if one apply color that is intended to last until the end of Shabbos, it is regarded as a permanent and is therefore prohibited under biblical law. So something that is going to be stay there until the end of the Shabbos is forbidden by biblical law. Okay. Yeah, go ahead.
Just to go back to tying the shoes very quickly. So let's say I draw, I don't know, at 1 p.m., 2 p.m., right? Shabbos, okay? Color on 2 p.m. Shabbos. So if it stays until the end of Shabbos, it counts, according to many poskim, as the right.
Yeah. Yes.
So does that mean if I tie my shoes on Shabbos, I always have to tie them before Shabbos?
Say it again.
If I tie my shoes on Shabbos.
You tie your shoes on Shabbos. Okay, yeah.
Yeah. Does that mean I have to untie them before Shabbos ends? Because if I keep them tied, what's it called? It's going to be a deraisa and it counts as permanent, right?
No, but it was not. You see, okay, about the shoes. There we're going with I would say after Shabbos. So even Shabbos ends, but maybe I don't know, until the end of the day, meaning until the night, until the next day. So you see, just okay. So as we said before, just a little step back. So we said it's a proper when you do Havdalah, you have to do in your Shabbos closing, right? And we learn also when you do Milava Malka, so preferably, not everybody can, okay, but also preferably in Shabbos closing. So basically, you came from Shul, you did this Havdalah, you're doing Milava Malka. So basically, Shabbos is over, but you still did not untie your shoes. You understand? So I mean, it's perfectly normal.
Uh-huh.
But your intention is to remove to untie your shoes a little later. So after you finish eating before going to bed, so that's normal. It's not considered to be like any relation.
Understood.
Israel, yes, go ahead.
Yeah, I have the same doubt or question about on Shabbos. I tie the shoes, and then I'm thinking if I must to untie before sunset or before nightfall.
No. Well, we just answered this question. So if you have to like untie them and before you're going to bed, So basically, before so when we take them off, so while they're still on your feet, there is no problem whatsoever. But when you want to take them off, you must untie them. You cannot leave them tied.
Another thing is that it is, I think it's almost halacha to have a special clothing for showers. I'm not sure.
Yeah, correct. Yeah.
But this special clothing for Shabbos, after nightfall, we must change to weekday clothing, or
no. That's what we just also explained. So after the Shabbos ends, we do Havdalah, separation with a candle, with a bisumim, this frankincense, and with the wine. Right, so we did this procedure. So it's proper since it's such a big mitzvah. So you escort in the Shabbos, right? So you have to still be in the dressed up, and then last meal, not last meal, like the fourth meal, like after Shabbos ends, it's proper to have milava malka, the fourth meal of Shabbos, right? So it's proper also to eat it in, if possible, proper to eat it in dressed also.
So now we are talking already Motzei Shabbos.
Motzei Shabbos, yes.
With the clothes of Shabbos.
Correct. Yes.
All right.
So when you finish all of the mitzvahs, so then you remove.
I have another thing, another doubt about this. How do you say this? The wine. If you don't have wine, do you have to replace or to skip this part of the?
No. You can do actually. You're talking about what? Havdalah, or what are you talking about?
Havdalah.
Okay, so Havdalah you can do, as they call it, Hamar Medina. Hamar Medina means beverage of the country. So if in this country, whatever country is respectful beverage, right? So respectful beverage, for example, beer is respectful beverage, or respectful beverage is coffee. So you can ask somebody, you want to come over for a cup of coffee. So I mean, the person is not going to get offended, right? Or you can even do a cup of milk. You can do in the milk. You can do in a tea. So something like respectful.
But these blessings, when Shabbos is ending and is coming Motzei Shabbos and the start of the week, is meant to be made alone or with a minyan or somebody else? I mean, can you do it alone? The blessings?
Yeah, of course. You have to do it. I mean, it doesn't matter. You do it alone or somewhere. Okay. You have to put separation. You see, it's like you started the process. You invited Shabbos, like when it starts. And so now you have to draw the line. That's what Shabbos ends. You have to escort. That's it. It cannot hang forever. So that's the proper way. Okay. So. Okay, so continue. If the color will fade within the few hours, it is regarded as temporary and is not prohibited by biblical law. Furthermore, even if the color will not fade by itself, but can easily be removed, for example, by using one's hand, it is considered to be temporary. Okay, so that's we just discussed biblical. Now we're going to rabbinical prohibition. Part number 4. Temporary coloring. The rabbis extended the prohibition of coloring to include cases in which the color is temporary and will endure only for a brief period of time. Thus, one is forbidden by rabbinic law to apply color to the surface from which it will fade within a few hours or from which it can easily be removed. Okay, so I mean it's clear. So it's very temporary, and it can be removed easily. So it's rabbinic. We're going to see in a practical application. So they're going to explain like what does it mean. So B, coloring human skin. The act of coloring human skin, whether or not color is intended to remain there permanently, is permitted under the biblical law, but prohibited under rabbinic law. So here we're talking the famous example. I mean, the most common, I would say, not famous. The most common example would be for women to apply the makeup, right? So this is coloring of the skin. The poskim explained that this is impossible, that it's impossible to color skin permanently. Therefore, it is not included in biblical prohibition. Nevertheless, it is prohibited by rabbinic decree. So because we know, because skin renews itself always, and so it's going to erase whatever coloring, but still it is prohibited by rabbinic decree. Okay, so let's see. Okay. So number 5, activities included in melacha of coloring. Here are some of the activities included in melacha of tzevea coloring. A, adding color to existing picture. B, painting. C, dyeing. D, production of dyes and paints. We'll now elaborate on these activities. So we start from the first. A, adding color to existing picture. Color in an existing picture is forbidden under the melacha of tzevea. Yeah. Question? Yeah. Go ahead.
Yes. So over here, coloring human skin, they give the reason that because it won't stay permanently, right?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Why can't we? Can we also give the reason that coloring on your skin isn't the normal way of coloring, or
No, but makeup, right, for women.
I hear. But if I put, let's say, something on my hand, right? That doesn't count as the normal way, right?
Exactly. Yes.
So that's enough of a reason for it to be a d'rabbanan, even if it stays there permanently, let's say.
But what do you mean to put it on your hand? Like ketchup? I don't know. What do you mean?
No, I mean, let's say, I don't know, I make a circle, right? Draw a circle and color it in with a pen. With a pen.
No, the pen is a muktzah. Why would you do that?
I'm saying if I do derice or d'rabbanan in this case, muktzah, okay, we're asking about derice or d'rabbanan just to know.
Okay. So ask this question again then.
So let's say I draw a circle, right?
Yes.
Then with a permanent marker, whatever, I color it in. Let's say it's gonna stay there forever, mamish forever. Does it count as a d'rabbanan still or no?
It's the drama. It's going to get away even if you don't wash it.
No, I agree with you. But I'm saying, let's say it stays there forever. Okay, million years, whatever it is.
No, but so let's say they take different example, not skin, but let's say piece of paper. I mean, maybe because we know it's not true. How can we?
Okay, I'll give you this. Let's say you on a wooden floor. Okay, wooden floor. You color on a wooden floor, whatever it is. You color it in over there. Let's say there's a good chance, unless someone steps on it. Okay, let's say this is a new room. Nobody's gonna touch it ever. Okay, you lock it, whatever.
Yeah.
My question is, if it stays like that, since it's not the normal way of coloring, because you're not coloring on something that people usually color on, does it count as a d'rabbanan or a deraisa?
No, this is deraisa because it's permanent. So people, I don't know, do people draw on their floors? People do whatever different things.
Yeah, okay.
But for sure, in your example, whatever you give, it is permanent. For sure, it's permanent. Okay, continue. Adding color to existing picture. Color in an existing picture is forbidden under the melacha of tzevea. This is true even the picture has already been colored, and the fresh color is intended only to make the existing color darker shade. So doesn't matter, doesn't make any difference. Like it was good without you, and now you add it, so you improve it. That's it. That's an melacha. Continue. Painting. It is forbidden under melacha of tzevea to apply paint to any surface or substance on Shabbos. Okay, so it's example, one may not paint a wall or door on Shabbos or floor, right? In our case, this prohibition applies even if one is repainting with the same color that was there previously. That's a very interesting note, that the last one. So even though it was exactly the same color, so maybe for some time it's going to look like wet spot, but when it dry, it's going to blend in. Doesn't make any difference. You understand? So it's still color. Yes.
Right. So we gave the example of, let's say we color in something, right? So I'm gonna ask like this: instead of coloring in something, because let's say you draw something to color it in, right? But let's say, I have a wall, okay, right? A wall is naturally a square, right? Naturally. So my question is, if I outline the wall, right, paint an outline, okay, make another square, does that count as coloring or no? Because I'm coloring the inside.
It's 100% coloring. You're improving something. So now it looks fancy schmancy. Yeah.
But if I make a painting on the wall, that also counts as coloring or no?
Yes. But this is coloring, and I would say writing together. So because you say painting, like drawing is like you do, when you draw, you do with line. By painting, for sure, you do it like you color in, like fill in the color. So that's to make it look good. Okay, next one is dyeing. It is forbidden under the Melach of Tzaveh to dye any material on Shabbos. This includes, but not limited to, cloth, leather, wigs, or hair. So one of the things that we learned before when we spoke about how to clean up the spill, right? And we said if it's for example red wine or some like ketchup or whatever, so don't use something like towel, right? Like paper towel, yes, because you're going to throw. But other things like from any cloth or material, don't use, because it's like you're improving, you're dying. That was the issue. I don't know if you remember that we learned, especially red wine. So do something like clean up this spill with something like disposable. So you show it's not my intention to color this napkin. I just want to get rid of the spill. Go ahead.
So let's say in that case though, with the shirt, if I have a white shirt and I get a what's it called, a wine stain on it, how is that improving it though?
Now it looks fancy schmancy. You just need more wine. It's going to be red shirt. It's going to cost much more, I think. I don't know.
Okay. Question. So over here, does kavanah also matter? Because I'll give you this example. Let's say I have white walls, right? And then same thing with the outline.
One second. I apologize. I apologize. I want to go back to the short. So it's not your intention to dye it. That's understandable. That's no. So it's never biblical. It's not. But maybe rabbinical. Maybe. You understand? So I just want to clarify. So your intention is very, very important. So you're not, when you drawing the picture, of course you're interested in the picture and filling in the color. But here you just want to get rid of this spill. But as a side effect, you paint it. You make this. I don't know this. What is it? Your white shirt looks with a red stain. So I mean, maybe hippies or whatever like it, and they see that it's a new fashion. Okay, go ahead. Next example.
Let's say I have a white wall. Okay. Now, Mamish, I love my walls white, so on and so forth. Okay. So let's say I have black paint. Make an outline of black paint. Okay, like Okay. Does that count as coloring as well or no?
I think it's coloring 100%. Why would you?
It's not improvement for me. I have to repaint my wall white.
It's not only improvement. I mean, you change the color. The color says something like you change the color. Maybe for you it's not improvement, but for me, I don't like white walls. So for me, it's a big improvement.
Sorry. So why don't I say the same thing with sifting? Okay, if you do it, it's a malacha, but if I do it, it's not a malacha. Why can't we say that?
No, but okay, can you give me an example? What do you mean?
I'm saying you like when you have a black outline on the walls, okay? I don't like it. So when I do it,
No, but exactly. So you see, it's improvement or no improvement. And so, I mean, just because you don't like it, that does not mean that other people don't like it.
So why don't I say the same thing with sifting?
Give me an example with the sifting, so we can.
No, sifted pulp. Some people like it, some people don't like it. So I'm saying, why is pulp different than making a black?
Exactly. Exactly. So for most of the people who like pulp, there is no sifting, as you said before. So it's only people who say that it's very disgusting, this pulp, they consider it's impurities, then it is a prohibition of sifting. But for other people, there's no problem. I mean,
Okay, understood.
Okay, 1 second, I lost my okay, continue. G. Production of dye and paints. The production of paints and dyes is included in a melach of tzovea. Accordingly, one is forbidden to create a new color or paint when mixing two different colors on Shabbos. That's a very interesting one, right? So do not like mix two things that would produce the new color. So exception, as we're going to get to it. So just remember, so there is no problem with coloring food, right? So you have whatever you have, you put some ketchup. It's not like you're coloring food. That's how you want to eat.
If I make something a darker shade, does that count as making a new color?
Now, if it with what? Can you tell me?
No, I have white paint, right? I put black paint, mix it together.
Of course, yeah, that's a classic example. What we just yes.
Okay.
Okay. So 1 second. What time is it? Okay, so let's do a little more, and we stop. Okay, number 6. Soiling a cloth or other object, is it prohibited in an act of dyeing? Okay, that's what we discussed. Actually, very interesting. Okay, A. So meaning if you're soiling, so as you said, how is it improvement to the white shirt if you just clean up the spill of after wine? Okay, this is prohibited or not? Those who view it is A. Those who view it as permitted. The melacha tzovea is defined as improving or beautifying the appearances of the object of the coloring. According to some authorities rule that if coloring of an object has a negative effect, it is not prohibited under the melacha. The prime example would be soiling a towel or a garment by using to wipe away blood from the wound. Okay. The towel does not change color. However, what is really happened is that the towel has become dirty. The towel does not change color. However, that what has really happened is that the towel has become dirty. Okay, changing the color of the object is by making it dirty does not fall into category of tzovea. So according to this first opinion, so we said that since since it becomes dirty, so it's not improvement. Okay, note. Even these authorities agree that one should preferably not to use cloth of the same color, right, as a liquid he's wiping up. For example, a red towel for blood. So I mean, like it's improvement of the color, right? It was not red enough, so now he added this improvement. If, however, there is the only cloth available, it may be used. See practical application. So we're going to get to it. Okay, B. Those who view it as forbidden. So two opposite views. Other poskim maintain that all the soiling the object is permitted under biblical law. And that's what we said for sure. I mean, that's what was not your intention, right? It is forbidden under rabbinic law. According to this view, one is forbidden to use cloth to stench a flow of blood on Shabbos. By wiping the blood, one is dyeing the cloth. I mean, it's not your. I mean, if it's the only thing available to you, of course, you can rely on lenient opinion, but lechatchila, don't use it. The piece of cloth, something. So always safe way is to do something like disposable. See in practice. So okay, we have do it, and you have don't do it. So what about our simple people, right? The final ruling has not been issued in this matter. Therefore, it is best to follow the stringent view. However, where it is impossible to do so, one may rely on the lenient view. Therefore, if there is nothing else available, one may use a cloth to wipe away blood. See practical applications. Okay, we're going to get to it. Okay. D, soil and tissue or paper napkins. All authorities agree there is a case of disposable object, like a tissue or paper napkins. One is permitted to color double quotes, them by making them dirty. So that's what they form. For example, one is definitely permitted to wipe up blood with a napkin or paper towel. Similarly, one is permitted to stop a flow of blood from a wound with a cotton ball or a band-aid. So because those disposable, you're not improving them, you don't do anything like good. All right, I think we can stop here. Let me quickly check how much. No, we're not going to finish. All right, I think this is a good place to stop. Okay, any questions on any subject, please go ahead.
So let's say that once again, going back to that person who bows too low, Shemona Ezra, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Is there any leniency if you're a chazan? Nothing.
Why do they say no? Why? No. Chazan, you see, chazan is actually the laws of the chazan should be stricter because he represents the whole community. Right? It's like you have you have these people in what is it in a Senate, right? So right? So these people in the Senate, in the Parliament, they represent their districts. So basically, if I vote for this guy, so he represents me. So he, in some sense, right? In some sense, he said, well, what is good for me, what I would do, right? What is the best for me? So this guy, he represents the whole community, the whole minyan. So how is it that could be lenient? It cannot be lenient. Okay. You understand? When you down by yourself, you represent yourself. You do okay. Now it's not what you want, but basically you're not you're harming only yourself. But he harms everybody. Like it says, like it's avodah zarah, 100%. So nobody have to tell me. Show me in the book. I mean, it's avodah zarah. So
let's say I don't want to go off them, right? Am I allowed to put, on the what's it called, on the stand, right? Where a chazan has like not like a stender, but something like Exactly. Let's say I put a sticky note right down Shulchan Aruch this.
Yes.
Allowed? That's allowed?
Yes. Yeah. Oh, you're allowed. Please check. Please check.
Right here.
That's absolutely. So you're not trying to embarrass him, stuff like that. So you should get the point. Okay. Israel, go ahead.
About the Hassan, has he a special siddur?
No, many times he have like a bigger siddur, bigger format. That is they call synagogue siddur. So if you have all of us have like this size, like normal size, so he would have like this, like bigger. So I mean, because he have to stand, sometimes there is a distance, so he has to be able to see it clearly. That's the thing.
And about the Maxor, may it be for Yom Kippur?
Yeah.
On Yom Kippur, I want to know if there is obligation, a mandatory halacha of extra prayers for everyone, or only for if you want to do it.
No. It's obligation of the day. So it's as you said, it's a special book that it's called Machzor. So we don't use our regular siddurim because it's nothing there. So it's useless. It's totally different. I mean, some, of course, like beginning of the Carbonus is the same as we say on Shabbos. All of the Psuki de Zebra, exactly the same as we say on Shabbos. But after that, like everything is different. Not every, but Shema is the same. But a lot of different things, of course.
So how many prayers are in total on Yom Kippur?
On Yom Kippur, it's a day when we have 5 prayers. But there are many pages. If you like look at Magzur English Hebrew, so it would be like this thick. So we have to complete in one day. Like, I don't know, 400 pages or so. 450 pages. I don't remember. So and we do complete. And when you just start night, when you start at night before, I think it's impossible. So I every year have exactly the same data. How is it possible that I can hardly read few pages in an hour? So how can I finish? Yes.
So it's allowed to, if you are in Eretz Israel, to go to the Western world, for example.
No. There's no such law.
Do you have to go any place special?
No. You just pray in a synagogue.
You
want to go, you see, it's going to be a lot of people there, a lot on Yom Kippur. So I would say, I mean, it's impossible to concentrate, right? And you stand in all the day, so it's hard. So in the synagogue, you can sit down, you have a chair, have this and have you that. Nobody's stepping on your toes, so it's easier. But there, it's too many people. So when we went to Eretz Israel and stayed not too far from a Western wall, so I would walk and pray with Net's minyan, the first minyan, and I thought I would be like, it would be few minyan, maybe 3, or I don't know. It was like 10 or 20 minions. A lot of people were smart as I am. You understand? So yeah. But if only like for the first minute, it was 10 or 20, I don't know, like a lot. I didn't count a lot. So can you imagine how many is going to be later on? A lot of people. So I mean, you try to avoid, because people are walking. You praying, then they walk and they like bump into you. So.
And these halachot are only for Hasidim, or for everyone to stay all the day praying?
No, it's everyone. Everyone is praying. Everybody. Absolutely everybody. So I mean, if person can do like for example, women are exempt, or somebody is sick, they exempt, so they do as much as they can. Or some people, they have medications, right? So they must eat. For example, I have my mother. She's on medication, so she eats, but she eats a little. Or she must drink. She has whatever. So she drinks in a small measures. You understand? So there's a small measure and with a big like intervals of time. So it's not halachically considered to be eaten. Is it allowed for a healthy person? No, it's not allowed. But for sick people, so if they can do with that, it is allowed. But if they cannot do with that, so they need to drink, I don't know, the revies like 150 grams of liquid, whatever they need to drink. So it is allowed for them. You understand? But and plus prayers, if somebody is weak, somebody is sick, of course he cannot say all of the prayers. I mean, the healthy people cannot. I mean, it's every year I'm so surprised. It's like only 5 pages left. It's like unbelievable. 20 pages left, and we cover almost everything. Like in the Siddur that our school does, there are many things that are extra. So what has been extra? It says in some shuls they say, some congregations say, some congregations skip. So, but they include everything. So it's all encompassed in Siddur, Matzot. So whatever congregation you come, you have all these things. Whatever you need. Right?
But I ask this because when I reading the prayers now I have the app. It says, for example, during the 10 days of repentance, and you add an additional sentence of prayer.
Mm-hmm.
But I thought that was the only thing you you must add. No, I didn't know
No,
you have
no,
to
no.
have a maxor,
Yes.
whole complete
Exactly.
sidur for Yom Kippur. I didn't know.
Yes, so this even they call it 10 days repentance, it's not. It's only 7 days. It's days between Rosh Hashanah. So how do they count 10 days? So it's from first of Tishrei, so first day of Rosh Hashanah, until Yom Kippur. Yom Kippur is 10th of Tishrei, right? So they can say 10 days of repentance. Of course, 2 days of repentance. Rosh Hashanah, you have Rosh Hashanah Machzor, totally different, right? Then you have the 7 days. That's what we call 10 days of repentance, even though they're only 7. And Yom Kippur, it's 10th day, but it has totally different Machzor. So we're talking about 7 intermediate days, basically.
Okay, thank you.
Yes. David, anything? Okay. So let's stop here. Okay, 1 second.
אני מברך את הרבנים, רגע. אני מברך את הרבנים, הרב ירון ראובן, הרב אפרים כחלון, ראשי ארגון בעזרת השם, שהלכו בפי עליון, שעלו מעלה, יהיה להם ברכה והצלחה, הקדוש ברוך הוא ימלא בישועות ליבם לטובה ולברכה, שבכל מה שיפנו ישכילו ויצליחו, יזכו לעשות כאלה וכאלה, הודיעו תורה לאדירה, אמן ואמן.
בעזרת השם רשת בכל הארץ. הוא היהודי הזה, הוא היה מיליונר, סגר את כל הביזנס, אמר אני משקיע פה בעולמה של תורה.
איפה הוא גר?
בפלורידה.
פלורידה, איפה זה פלורידה? באמריקה.
במיימי. כן, ליד. אנחנו שם עכשיו הולכים להקים קהילה ספרדית.
חזק אותו בשמי.
קהילה ספרדית גדולה.
תעביר לו מה שבירכתי אותו.
כן, קהילה ספרדית גדולה.
כן.